Today's topic is about cherishing your weeds. Weeds are actually a valuable commodity in the garden. They serve various different purposes, and although we have been programmed to think of weeds as evil and to try to eliminate them from our garden, they actually offer a lot of value, and one of them is its biodiversity. But what I'm going to talk about today is how I use my weeds to create compost and black gold, and it keeps my gardening costs down. But let me show you what I do. And biodiversity, by the way, is the best thing you can have in your garden. There are so many different types of weeds. So here I am. I have taken, it's August, and that is the season for lawn weeds. So I have taken lots of lawn weeds and put them in my compost pile. And let me show you how many I've gotten in 2 weeks. So let's go up here. Now I have a very big backyard with lots of grass. And it was initially, our yard was a jungle. When we moved in, we did do a lot of clearing. There was a lot of poison ivy and low-growing shrubs, and this was 26 years ago. And we turned a lot of it into lawn with landscaped areas. But look how big my yard is, and it's full of weeds. We do not do any spraying. I don't believe in herbicides. And look what we have here. We even have some fungus and mushrooms growing all over the property. But these are fungi that are growing on some old roots. We lost a tree, and the roots have been here for a couple years, and look at what is eating the roots. The fungus. So I'm not sure what type that is, but I mean, we could almost consider that a weed, but it's serving a purpose here. It's biodegrading those roots. So let me show you what we've got back here. I have compost bins set up back here, and I'm going to turn these weeds, which would otherwise be killed with an herbicide or dragged to the curb where the county would take it away using lots of gas and compost it in their own facilities. But why not compost it right on my own property and use it in the spring for my spring planting? So back here I have a couple of compost bins set up. These were actually free in my county, and you can check your own municipality and see if they offer anything like this. But they're basically just these rings of plastic with holes in them, and you set them up with these very easy pins. But guys, look at how much compost I have put together to start in just the span of 2 weeks. I have filled an entire bin with green material, and I've layered in brown materials such as shredded paper, peat moss, and twigs, that kind of thing. I'll be adding in leaves when the fall rolls around. But I've layered it up, and I've set it up so that in about 6 or 8 months, I'm going to have a beautiful pile of compost. So I know that peat moss isn't so eco-friendly, but I don't use too much of it. Just because I was setting up this whole bin, I did go out and buy some this time. But there's plenty of browns you can use if you're opposed to using peat moss as well. And not only do I have this whole bin, I have a half a bin over here. I've set this one up, and I've set it up to be even larger. You can adjust the size on these. So I highly recommend this kind of setup. But look at what I have. I'm going to turn what is normally considered a pesky plant into gardening gold. And I can use it on all of my vegetables and flowers and plants for new plantings in the spring, and they'll be as happy as can be. I'll save on soil costs and fertilizer. So guys, don't drag your weeds to the curb, and don't spray pesticides. Use them for yourself. There is also another perk to getting down on your hands and knees and weeding your lawn. And I'm going to take you over here and show you what I found. When you're looking through your lawn, you're going to notice so many different species of plants. And I was on my hands and knees when I noticed a little gem. And I've planted it over here in this planting area. This is kind of a woodland planting area. Still looking like a mess now, but look what I found in the middle of my yard. A little fern. And I just think it's just a little gem. So I'm very excited to have that. And it's tiny now, but in gardening you have to have a long-term plan. And if you're patient, you can get lots of plants for free. Behind it back there, I don't know if you can spot it, is a free butterfly bush that I planted. So just start weeding your lawn, build a compost pile, and in the meantime you're going to have a treasure hunt as well. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know what you do with your weeds, and if you're willing to give this one a try, if you haven't done it before, but I think it's a great idea. And I do know that some people are opposed to putting weeds in their compost because they're worried about getting weeds once they use it in the garden. But worst case scenario, if they do sprout weeds, you just have more green material to put back in your compost. So I think it's a win-win situation. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.